Good morning, everybody, and I mean everybody because there's a lot of groups of you guys that are my friends on Facebook and through YouTube or through my blog or whatever it is. Today we have an interesting topic to talk about. I hope it will be interesting, but more than that, I hope it will be hopeful, and there probably won't be a lot of joking and laughing, although maybe, I don't know. Today I want to talk about being let down or letting other people down, and I know that many of you in your lives, and me in my own life, professionally, personally, in every way possible, I've been let down by others, but I've also let others down. And I think from the Bible, I use the Bible as my example if I can, and from the Bible, probably one of the greatest examples of a letdown was between Peter and Jesus. And I know you guys, if you've all heard the story, even if you haven't been to church in 20 years, you've probably heard the story, right? That, you know, Peter told Jesus, you know, I'll never deny you, Lord. I'll never deny you to anybody. If everybody else falls away, Peter said in Mark 14, if everybody else falls away, Jesus, I will never deny you. I will be the one that sticks by you. And Jesus looked at him and said, you know, paraphrase, dude, before the rooster crows 3 times tomorrow morning, you're going to deny me 3 times. You know, and Peter was like, what, are you smoking crack? I mean, you know, Peter thought Jesus, he didn't say that, that's not in the Bible, but Peter thought Jesus was nuts probably, because Peter was probably the most ardent, strongest supporter of Jesus that he had. I mean, at least the most vocal for sure, and was the leader of the disciples, and he was the one that everybody else would have probably voted to say, hey, most likely to succeed. He's probably not going to deny Jesus. But then Jesus was arrested, Jesus was put before the Sanhedrin, and 3 times within several hours, Peter did deny that he knew him. I don't know what his motives were, but he denied that he knew Jesus. And at one point in Luke, it even says Jesus turned around and looked straight at Peter. Right after the 3rd denial, he looked straight at him. So I imagine Peter felt crushed. It says Peter got up and rushed out, or went out right after that. So I imagine the Apostle Peter felt crushed when that happened. And when he sat there realizing, oh my God, I thought I was such a great friend. I thought I was such a great follower. I thought I was so loyal and so devoted. And I just let down Jesus. I just said 3 times, like he said I would, I said, you know, I don't know him. And you know, I know you guys in your lives, guys and girls, and me in my life, we've all let people down. We've all hurt people. We do it probably quite often. We don't want to. I don't think many of us. Now, some of you guys out there may be just totally pure evil and hate other people, and hey, letting people down is your cup of tea. I doubt it. I hope not. I don't know how you're my friend if you are, but that's cool. You can still be my friend if you are, because maybe we can change you. But the idea is we all screw up. We all make mistakes in our lives. And what I do know is that there's a good example from Peter. When Peter went out, Peter wasn't thinking anything. He was probably thinking of what a letdown he'd been. But you know what? What we need to remember, when we've let others down, or when we've failed others, whether it's our wife or our husband, or whether it's our children or our parents, whether it's our best friend or our good friends, whoever it is, when we've failed others and we've failed to live up to our word, or we failed to do something we said we were going to try to do or we were going to do, or we've just messed up really bad. It can be any kind of things. But when you've let somebody else down, remember this, that there's always, hopefully, there's always tomorrow. And tomorrow, a new day will dawn, and you can get up, and you can try to make it right. Thank God that, you know, unless it's a kind of a letdown that would be horrible, where there's some kind of a crash or a wreck or an injury or a death or something horrible like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the general normal letdowns we have in life, and the disappointments and the lack of fulfilling others' needs that we have in life. But when that happens, we have to remember that tomorrow I'll try to make it right now, but right now may not always be the time. You know, tomorrow may be better, but you know what there is? When the sun rises tomorrow and you're able to go to that person and talk to them and ask their forgiveness, apologize. Apology is such a, I don't even know whether it's used that often anymore, because nobody wants to apologize to anybody else. We all want to just get a stiff upper lip and stick our chin up and just, you know, be prideful and arrogant and go on about our lives. But I would urge you to try to apologize to the other person and try the best you can to make it right, no matter what it is. And just do everything you can to try to make it right. If you can't make it right, and if they won't forgive you, there's nothing you can do about that. Go on about your life, pray for them, and go on about your life. But on the other side of this is, what if you've been let down by others? And you're the one that's the victim, let's call you. You know, victim. And you've been let down by somebody, and you've been hurt, and they've done something. Well, you know what? What did Jesus do when Peter let him down? Jesus, after the resurrection, came back and went to Peter and said, dude, basically, paraphrase, you know, on the Sea of Galilee, just basically, look, it's okay. Do you love me, Peter? What he asked him was 3 times, do you still love me? Peter, do you still care? Are you still with me, man? He didn't say, you dirtbag, you did what I said you would do, you no good human piece of crud, get out of here. He didn't say that. He said, Peter, do you still love me? And Peter said, yes, Jesus, I still love you. And then he said, then go and feed my sheep. Go and do what I told you to do in the first place. Go and do what I called you and trained you and led you to do. Go ahead and make it right to the rest of the world, if not to me yesterday or whatever. Wow, 37 days ago in that case. But Jesus forgave him. And we as people who might be the victims of being hurt or being let down, we need to forgive others. We need to bless others. We need to do the best we can to understand that everybody we run into in life is human. Unless you sit around computers and that's all you deal with all day long. Everybody's human. We're not robots. And because of that, we're going to make mistakes. We're going to disappoint others. And when somebody disappoints you, try the best you can to forgive them. I know it's hard sometimes, and sometimes it's huge, and sometimes it's very difficult. Sometimes it takes therapy and counseling. But if somebody's hurt you, try to forgive them, try to bless them, and pray for them. And if you can do that, do that. But I guess today's topic is letdowns, and I feel like maybe people being let down is a big thing in our lives. And I would just urge you and encourage you to read the Bible. Read John 18, Mark 14, Matthew 26, and Luke 22, and look about what Peter did and Jesus did when there was that big letdown, and try to learn from that, but also just try to live your life with forgiveness for others. And I don't mean 1,000 times. Well, Jesus said 490, but try to love others and forgive them. Okay, and that's all for today, folks. Bye bye.